everyone, welcome to Unicorn Dust Designs. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Sammy. Today we are going to get into wood. I know you guys, right? Okay, so we finally have access to the wood in the garage. I want to play around with some decoupage today, some really easy wood flips for you all, and I hope you enjoy it. I know it's some of your favorites. Let's get started. We're going to start our first project off with these beautiful birds. Not all of them, but I got this decoupage paper. This is the Roy Cycle decoupage paper, and I get it from Sonnet's Garden in Bloom. Her link is down in the description box. I am going to play off of this sheet for the video. So I'm going to cut out the image that I want. I am going to take, I think this is a 2x10, and you guys, I don't know the sizes. I just go in my garage and cut random sizes and see what fits. I am taking, you guys, I'm going to use color today. This is Queen Bee by DIY Paints, and oh my gosh. I'm not much for like yellow. I mean, the cake batter was beautiful, but this is beautiful. I'm going to show you how I dry it down. We are going to do the back of this wood piece and all of the sides. Do not paint the front your color. And I wanted to show you how it looks as it dries down, so you can see it's darker, and as it dries down, oh, the yellow is so absolutely beautiful. Again, this is Queen Bee, and Bree's link is down in the description box. All right, so the front of it, we are going to paint in Waverly White, and we are doing this because we want that decoupage paper to really pop off of our wood piece. Once that is completely dry, I cut out that decoupage paper. We're gonna lay it on top. Now you can see it doesn't fit all the way on my piece. You could see like the white edges poking out, but don't worry, we will hide that. Now taking liquid patina, which is a decoupage medium, I'm going to put a coat on the top of our wood, then lay that decoupage paper down and just get whatever is left on my brush and push it down into the wood. I am somebody, I don't care if there's wrinkles in my decoupage paper. I'm not looking for the smoothest finish. There are other ways of doing that and creating that, but that's not like a priority when I'm decoupaging. So I repeated that process for the bottom half. I am going to dry that, speed up the process with my heat gun. Once that is dry, I go back over the decoupage paper with that liquid patina again. Once that's dry, we're going to take this finger sander and I am going to sand in a downward motion the excess of the paper. It was super easy to do. After that, I take Queen Bee and a stencil brush, and all I'm doing is stippling it around the entire image. This is going to help it blend, those edges blend into the paper. Now, of course, we had to bust out mold. So I'm taking my amazing resin. You just have to mix 50-50 and then you stir it for 40 seconds and it cures within 10 minutes. So this is my definite go-to when using molds if I'm able to. I am going to use the mushroom mold from IOD. I get all my IOD products from Bonda at paintedheirloom.com. Her link is in the description box. She has amazing customer service and she usually ships the next day. So we're going to let those set up, and I just wanted to show you the process, how they turn white. It happens so fast and I love it. Okay. Now, can I just start by saying I am no like paint artiste whatsoever. I don't know how to blend colors. I am just going with the flow here. I am taking crinoline and I'm going to do all of the stems of the mushrooms I chose with this. What I did was I took the decoupage inspiration and I'm trying to translate that to my resin molds. So I took crinoline. Now I'm going in with some Summer Crush while that crinoline is still damp and kind of blending them into each other. Y'all, I went back and forth so many times about like finishing these. I doubted myself. I was literally going to toss these to the side until my husband was like, "No, I think that they're good. Just keep going with it." So I just trusted the process, okay? So I did the same thing with the little ones. Then I took Weathered Wood by DIY with a smaller paintbrush and blended it. The mushrooms on the decoupage paper had like orange, brown, white, and red in them. So I was trying to imitate that as much as I could, but make it my own, of course. All right, so I'm just using an acrylic paint for the red because I did not have a bright red in DIY or Waverly Paint. So I painted all of the tops of the mushrooms in the red. After that, I took the white wax and coated them. And I still felt like it was missing something. This was the point when I was starting to have some self-doubt, and I just kept going with the flow. I propped them up on the piece and was like, I'm not. I was like, I can't put these on. They're not pretty. And my husband's like, you know what? Add some of the white polka dots to the tops and see if that helps kind of just tie in your piece. So I did that, and I'm happy he was there to encourage me because it definitely would not have turned out the way it did if I wouldn't have added these. So now taking our molds, I'm going to take our, oh yeah, I'm going to take our thick and juicy. We're just going to call it that from now. It's really quick and thick and quick bite. Hey, I know you're excited like I am about this. Yes, I know. And we are going to adhere our molds to our wood piece, and that is it. Look at how beautiful this turned out. Even the bird looks like it's popping out from the wood. I love these molds, and oh my gosh, it's just how I say, like, trust the process, because I think without these molds, this wouldn't have been as beautiful as it is, and I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think about adding the molds, and this will be available on my website. All right, for this one, we are using a 6x6 piece of wood. Everett is the one that chose the image, so we are going with these two beautiful birds. Now, this decoupage piece had these little like splatter pieces on them. So I didn't want to cut super close to the birds. I wanted to keep all of that beautiful color in. So I'm taking a wet paintbrush and I'm just kind of going around it in a fluid motion. I'm not trying to get straight lines. I want it to look like torn paper. And I'm going to follow that all the way around this image. And you could really just have fun with this. All right, now things are going to get weird. We're going to flip that decoupage paper over and we are going to paint it white. Yes, we are painting the back white. I was watching Sonnet's Garden and Bloom, and she did this in order to not have to paint the front of her piece white. This is going to allow the decoupage paper to still pop without having to paint the actual piece. So I paint the back. While that is drying, I'm going to take our 6x6 piece of wood and this trimming. Y'all, you can get this beautiful trimming at Home Depot. They range from like $1.99 up to $5.99. This one was $1.99 or something. And I'm going to mark that off. I'm going to take my little table saw or miter saw, whatever it is, and I am going to cut that. This cuts so easily. It took me like 3 little swipes and it was good. I sand off the edges, and then I am going to also cut a second piece. I'm going to take our wood glue and I'm going to glue those to the top. This is a great way of adding some easy detail to wood signs for not a hefty price tag. Yeah, I know, it's so pretty, huh? All right, so once that sets up, more new colors, you guys. I'm using Aviary. I have been wanting this color forever, y'all, and I finally got it. It is stunning. I'm going to paint this entire wood piece with Aviary, the front, the back, the sides. All of these are going to be freestanding signs. They do not need any sawtooth hangers on the back of them. And of course, I have to show you what it looks like as it dries down. this green is everything. I have Monet's Garden. That one's a lot darker. This one is definitely like, whoo, I love it. I love it. All right, so now that we have this painted, we're gonna take our decoupage paper, and since I added the trimming on here, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit off, which is no problem. I just take that craft knife and butt it up against that trim and cut my excess off. Then, just like we did in the previous one, I am going to take that liquid patina and I'm going to start from the bottom and then work my way up with it. Now, liquid patina is different than Mod Podge in its consistency. This has more of like a poly acrylic like consistency. It's very thin versus Mod Podge, which is going to be a lot thicker. After I get that done, I go over the entire piece with the liquid patina. It is used for decoupage and you could use it as a top coat as well. Once we are done and it's dry, y'all know I had to take this dark wax to bring the details out in this molding. So I stipple it on, I push it down into those beautiful details, grab my paper towel, and I'm gonna wipe that back. And right away, look at how much more that pops. I'm going to buff some of that dark wax into the sides as well. Then I'm like, you know what? I want to see how it looks around the image. And at first I thought I was just going to put it like around the image and buff it out. But it ended up kind of getting all over the place. So I just went with it and then buffed it out into the entire image and sign. And I'm glad that I did it because it made it look a little bit more vintage and worn. And this turned out very beautiful. The details in the Roy Cycle decoupage papers are absolutely insane. They are so very easy to use. Again, I got this on Sonnet's Garden in Bloom. And there are, you saw the sheet of paper in the beginning. There are tons of bird images on this one sheet. I love that it looks like torn paper and all of the beautiful details that pop with that dark wax. All right, you guys, I know that a lot of you like my wood DIYs. So I am so excited that I can actually access the wood in my garage. If you guys follow my vlog channel, then you know it's been a hot mess. I actually have a new video coming out on that channel to kind of show you the process and our shed and all of that stuff. So definitely look out for it. The link is in the description box for you. I hope you guys get inspired by these really easy wood decoupage flips, and I hope it inspires you to think outside the box. I wanted to remind you all that I have a bunch of links down in the description box. We have a Facebook group. I have a website, unicorndustdesigns.com, where I sell my thrifted finds, my home upcycles, and salt wash as well. And y'all know, if you're digging me, if you're digging the channel, if you're digging the DIYs, then make sure you like and subscribe. It's an absolutely free way you can help me out here on YouTube. With that said, let's go ahead and get back into these wood DIYs. Taking another piece of that 2x10, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm taking Sandy Blonde by DIY. Y'all, this is like the perfect like crockery color. Oh, it is so gorgeous. All of these, if you guys didn't watch my live, I showed you all of the new DIY paints I got, and if you couldn't tell, I'm obsessed. So initially, we're going to paint the back and then the sides, but you do not actually need to paint the back, just paint the sides with the tan color. Going over the fronts, we're going to do the same thing we did with the first piece, and we're going to paint it white because this is where our decoupage paper is going to go. I'm going to take this beautiful decoupage paper. It says T on the little container, so just wanted you to know so that you pick up what I'm putting down later. All right, now you guys, please tell me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the liquid patina with a big brush. That way I could do more in less time. Now, I don't know if I oversaturated it or what happened, because you can see on the right, it like started pulling up, almost like it was shrinking or something. So do you see on the right how it starts like tightening up and then like popping up on me? It was the weirdest thing, and the only thing I could think of is that maybe like I put too much too soon, or I did too big of sections. I'm not sure, but it ended up working out. So again, just taking that finger sander and getting the excess off. Now I'm going to take some more molds and we are going to use our clay. So I'm using the DOS clay. And you guys, I think I'm getting better at this. I really am. It is getting a lot easier. I think you just need to keep doing it. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a fan of the clay. I rather use the resin all day long. However, I needed 4 of these, and using the resin just wasn't going to be practical since you have to wait 10 minutes in between each one. So I'm going to fill this up. All you have to do is push back with your finger. They have little lips around the images so that you can easily push back the clay and it will just take the excess off for you. So again, I am making 4 of these. I dusted the mold with cornstarch just so I can ensure that it does not stick. Now we are going to go over to our letter molds, and let me tell you that don't tell anybody I said this, but the clay is actually a lot easier for the letter molds than the resin. I will say that. But I get the letters made that I need. Now, initially, I wanted it to say Book of Tea. So obviously you know where we're going with this now. However, it would not fit. And this was another point in my DIY where I was starting to get a little overwhelmed because I was like, can something just work for me, please? So I start I'm trying here, okay? It doesn't work. So then I'm like, let me take tea. Maybe I could just put tea on the edge. But since this is a block of wood, I want it to say book. So maybe somebody that's not crafty will understand it's a book. So I move up the tea and then I put the book on the bottom. So tea book. It's not as good as Book of Tea, but I made it work and I still think it looks beautiful. So in order to attach my letters, I didn't want to put the glue directly on the letters because then I would have a bunch coming out from underneath them. So I squeezed some of my wood glue on a paper towel, got a paintbrush, and I am just coating the back of the letters with the paintbrush. That way I'm not getting an overfill of glue on here. So I do that with all of our letters. Yeah, you like watching Mama? Yeah, exciting, huh? Now taking that aviary again, we are going to coat what is going to be the spine of our book. Now, my molds are still wet, so you don't want to put a lot of pressure on them. But I did learn from Erin at the Provincial Farmhouse that she at least thinks that when you paint over the clay, it helps reduce the cracking. So I thought that was really cool information. So we are going to go over the spine of the book. And then I was like, wait, usually the back of the book is the same color as the spine. Not always, but majority of the time. So this is where I end up painting over that sandy blonde. Now, after that is all painted, I just take a lead pencil and I am just making a bunch of lines so that it looks like pages of a book. And I'm going to continue to do that all the way around. And then when I get to the other side, you'll see it's the small details. You know where all of the pages come together right there? Yep, I do that little detail as well. All right, you're going to hear Montgomery breathing. All right, so the little molds that we made last time, we are now going to paint them in the aviary. Once that is done, we're going to take clear wax and we're going to wax the side of the book, the sides and the back. The front is already cleared with that liquid patina, so we don't have to clear that. I will also put the clear wax on our little embellishments as well. Once that is done, then we're going to take our dark wax and we're going to stipple that on. Now, remember, I put the clear wax on there so that we can easily wipe back the dark wax. If you were to put that dark wax right over your paint, it is going to absorb into your paint and you're not going to be able to wipe off as much of it. So that is why I go with clear and then the dark wax. I'm also going to do this same thing on the spine of our book so that we get those letters to really pop out at you. So I put it all over our letters. Then I'm going to wipe it back. I'm going to get my paper towel and I'm going to buff that remainder wax around it. So it just looks dark and old and the letters are really going to be nice and bold. I take the wax and I also just kind of dust it around the edges of the back of the book, and then I will also buff that out as well. Now, we couldn't use green without the gilded gold wax. So I put some on my finger. I am just dabbing it. I'm not rubbing it. I am dabbing it onto our letters. And then you are going to see on our little pieces right here how much, look at just even this far away, the detail comes to life with that gold. And we are going to take our little embellishments and I am going to glue those to the corners of our book. And that will be it, you guys. I hope this inspires you to think outside the box. I don't think I've seen somebody do this with the molds and the decoupage paper, but what do I know? So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are excited about wood. If you want to see more wood DIYs, please comment wood down in the comment section. But look at that detail, you guys. The green is absolutely beautiful with that dark and gold wax. This decoupage image is stunning and so detailed. Oh goodness, you guys know my obsession with books. This is everything. Love it. Let me know which one out of the 3 was your absolute favorite. I think all of these are going to be available on my website. I don't know about the book one yet, but if it is already listed on there. I hope you all have a good week. Bye. All right, we're trying this a little different. Yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt I wore last week. It's okay, whatever. This isn't even like another day and I'm wearing the same shirt. I just love it so much. Okay, anyways. Look, you guys, we took one thing down and we literally just put it right there. But it's a start, right? I know what I'm going to do. Okay. Hey, everyone. Well, no. Wood DIY. Okay, let's take a selfie.